There we go. We did it again. Hey, how you doing? Sorry, this is Hockey Talk. I was just trying to get my stream up again. Keeps on going down on me. I'm on YouTube right now at the NHL Pearls of Wisdom show. You can go search it up. Come join me over there. Or you can talk to me there. Just let me know. I'll wait till see if I can get some more people on here. Oh, boy. Let's see. Edit. What does it say here? Work. How's it going? Yeah, we're doing a stream. I'm doing a stream. I'm just waiting for some people to come on my stream, but hopefully they realize that I'm back, but I don't know. I'll see. I had lots of people on to tick me off. There we go. Somebody's on. Who's there? Who's on? Hey, how you doing? My stream went dead on me, dork. I had like 7 or 8 people on and went dead. I guess they figure it's not working now. But we can talk. We were talking about Evander, Kane, and like basically how I don't think there's any chance now of him going anywhere but the KHL. I think he's done. I'm thinking he's done. It doesn't matter even if they can't prove that he did what they said he was going to do. Did what what his wife said. Hey, how you doing? What, John? Yeah, I know, that sucked. Your sub notifications went crazy? Right on. When are we going to have time again? I still can't figure out that freaking thing, buddy. John, I don't know what's going on with my live stream. It just, hopefully it goes now, but probably lost everybody now. Seems like everybody's, it seems like it's working fine now. So sometimes with YouTube, you just can't figure out what the heck the problem is. Hopefully we can get some time, Dork, because I've looked. That's why they have to make that so difficult to use that stupid thing, the Discord. It's like once I got it, I'm sure I'll get it. But yeah, we're up and going there, CL. We're up and going. I'll go a little longer this time. So there are a couple teams. Okay, let's say that he's clear. They can't prove that. A couple teams that would possibly think of trading for Kane because they've showed in the past that they can work with guys like this would be the Edmonton Oilers, and Montreal Canadiens seem to have no problems with people like this. Alexei Kovalev. Yeah, I still don't have a clue how to use that freaking Discord, dude. If we can get on, that'd be great. Alexei Kovalev used to be a big gambler and all that kind of stuff like that, and they never had a problem with him. But he was a relatively nice guy. Like, it seems like Evander Kane is just a jerk to everybody or something. I'd love to know. He must just talk crap about people behind their backs. I don't know. I'm just speculating here, but to have your own teammates want to kick you out of the team. I don't remember too many times that that's happened in the past, where a player was so bad that it actually got out. Sounds like a Calgary move. I don't care. Calgary, the Flames don't generally go well with poor character players, so especially not Sutter. Sutter would probably beat him to a pulp. So I don't think that's going to be it. Yeah, I don't think he'd be able to go. I'm betting he's a big jerk. Yeah. But I don't know. Whatever. I guess I would love to know like some of the stories there in San Jose. I guess we'll find out about him later. But apparently he said that his ex-wife has mental issues, and I don't know if that's true or not, but it's something that jerks say about their ex-girlfriends. So let's face it, it doesn't mean that she actually does or something. Oh, there's something we could talk about. Yeah, torts on TV. The big thing about torts on TV is, of course, that he had a problem with media himself. So I'm thinking I'm going to try to change my edit. Well, nobody hated losing more than Tortorella. So nobody hated losing more than Tortorella. And when they put him in the media like that, to basically, after a game that he's lost, and they put him in front like that, like what you know what he's about, right? Like he hasn't changed that way over the years. And I don't know if he's tried to change or whatever, but I'm trying to change my thumbnail here while I'm talking to you guys. The screen is already messed up anyway, so let's see if I can do it. Change. There. See if that draws some more people here. That's what I'm saying, Brooksy. Yeah, that's the thing, man. Okay, we're going to find out what Dubois is after. I know Laine come out, and Laine didn't like him at all. Laine said he didn't let him play his game and all that kind of stuff like that. But Laine pissed everybody off in Winnipeg. So there's lots of players that have said he was the best coach he ever played for. He pushes you damn hard. I think if Tortorella has a weakness or fault, it would probably be that he maybe pushes guys really, really a little too hard. They just seem to, like, you can only do so much. That might be his fault. I don't know, but the line is, yeah, he had a really bad year. And anyways, he's going to try this new coach out. We'll see what happens. Laine is another guy who, I mean, in Winnipeg, he seemed to rub people the wrong way a lot. And he talked some crap about guys on the way out, too. So now he's going to Columbus, and he's going to have, what's that, Laidlaw? Is that who's going to be a coach there now? The guy's got a talent to be a 40-goal scorer, no doubt about it. They're going to let him play his game. So we're going to find out what his game is. Whatever his game was, it didn't line up with what Tortorella was telling him to do, that's for sure. So maybe we'll hear more about it now that Tortorella is now that Tortorella is there as a coach. Or sorry, in the media, because, yeah, that will be interesting to see what Tortorella has to say. Just like Babcock, he's in there too doing that kind of stuff. So Laine's got 1 year now, and then next year they can try to re-sign him, or they trade him at the deadline. The thing is, they don't have a center to play with Laine right now. Getting Voracek will help, because Voracek is a great passer. And maybe they'll play Voracek in the middle, actually, there. Drew Shore is going to play in the KHL. Okay. Yeah, we're talking about that. Where's Lauren? Oh my gosh, I think this is the first stream Lauren hasn't been by on. Murray, nice pickup by Colorado, getting Murray from for like $2 million for 1 year. I thought he played pretty well in New Jersey there. Sakic always seems to be able to bail himself out. What does Pionk sign for? Thank you, Philip Bridgman, for coming in. Everybody, I haven't seen Bridgman. Is this your first time in the stream, bud? Get yourself all subbed up and have yourself a seat, and we'll have some good conversation. What does Pionk sign for? I think he's got his... let me look at... How old is he? He's got to be getting close to free agency possibility, eh? Phil, I know he's been on Off the Wall John's all the time. I've seen him on there. Let me pull him up here. Good question. That is a good question. He's a tough one to nail down. Because but you got to look at the minutes they have him play. Would he be a top 2 defenseman on most teams? Probably not. Where's Winnipeg? Winnipeg, okay. Neil Pionk, 26. Okay, you're buying out free agent years here with him. So, we're going to find out if he really wants to be there. But 45 points in 71 games. 32. He's looking like just over a point a game guy. He plays with he plays with a ton of heart though. And what did he make? What did he make this last? What was he making already? Oh shoot! What am I doing? It tells you here. he was making $3 million. I say he's going to be about 5.5, 6. That's maybe 5, 5.5, somewhere around there for like 4 years. Does that sound fair? 5, 5.5 for 4 years, Phil? Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. That's kind of what I'm thinking. But he's really tough to peg down because he's really big for Winnipeg. The question is, would he be playing? He's tough to peg down. His analytics are really good. I mean, you could make a case that he should be making 6, 6.5. Actually, you should. But I think after it's all said and done, I'll say 5, 5.5 for 5 years or something like that. They'd like to get him signed up probably for a long time because it's hard in Winnipeg to get guys that want to play in Winnipeg. Obviously, you see it over and over again. Trouba, Lion A. There's probably other ones I'm not thinking of right now. Even Forbert, they gave him a chance in Winnipeg, and when he gets another chance, he ends up going somewhere else. Although that could have been because they didn't want to pay him as much as Boston was going to pay him. But, I mean, they gave Forbert a pretty darn good chance there, and he bailed. So, YouTube takes people out of the live stream, really? That's crazy. I didn't know that. I got TikTok going on here at the same time. Anybody who's in there, we're doing a live stream on NHL, the NHL Pearl of Wisdom show on YouTube. You can just search it. Come on and join us. Or you can ask me questions here. Hamilton was overpaid. What's your take, Perlo? You know, it's kind of hard to say he's overpaid. Jones was really not given Vezina or Norris consideration too much. Werenski maybe should have been given more consideration. Werenski was a better player than Jones in Columbus, and he got just barely over what Jones got in Chicago. Hamilton, the last 3 years, has been a Norris Trophy contender. He's been in the conversation, like top 5 vote getter for the Norris, and deservedly so. On paper, on ice, and analytically, and eye test wise, Hamilton plays an awesome brand of hockey. So for that, the $9 million is. For that, I got to go with the $9 million. I mean, he has every right to ask for $9 million. The question is, why does he keep on having to move teams all the time and all that sort of thing like that? But New Jersey obviously looked into whatever that was and said, he's a Norris Trophy caliber. We'll work with this personality or whatever the case may be. But on the ice, $9 million and sign him up long term because he's 28 years old. I think he's 27 or 28, right? So he's going to be, 36 at the end of this? By the time, if you look at the trajectory of players that play like Hamilton, they're usually still pretty good at 36 years old. And $9 million 8 years from now is not going to be all that much for a defenseman. Probably your average defenseman is going to be making $9 million a year 8 years from now. And he's probably going to be an average defenseman. So I have no problems with the on-ice performance contract with that. I just don't know about the problems he's obviously had with teams and stuff like that where he's left. Hi, everybody. Welcome. We're doing, I don't know if you actually look at the titles when you come on here, but we're talking hockey there on TikTok. What did you think? I mean, there's something about Hamilton that makes you go, but yeah, I got his for his on ice performance. I don't think he's overpaid at all. New York Islanders trying to trade Josh Bailey. Where did you hear that, John? I mean, possible because they did give him, basically up for free with Eberle. I think that they're going to get Tarasenko still, though. It's just, they're just Lou Lamoriello doing what Lou Lamoriello does, and that's, wait a long time, take a long time to do everything. Yeah, I mean, defensemen are hard to find. I mean, every time you go into the playoffs, what are people looking for at the deadline? D, always. I mean, a defenseman with the talent of Hamilton, they're hard to find, man. I still think the Savard deal is going to look bad for Montreal, though. Was it 9.5? I thought it was just 9, but 9.5, I mean, yeah. It's hard to swallow. Hey, it's Liam. How you doing, buddy? Thanks for coming on the stream. It is hard to swallow, but you're going to eventually have to pay a defenseman $9.5 million. If you're going to be a cup contender, you're probably going to have a $9.5 million defenseman out there, or something like that now. You're going to have a well-paid defenseman. Carolina seems to be trying to not have that. Yeah. It's Liam. Give me something, buddy. What's your favorite team? I think this is the first time you've been in this stream. Thanks for coming in. A little Perlo dance for you. Everybody. I think it was 9. I could actually, I got it right here. I can find out. I can always check on the cap friendly there. Yeah, it's funny, they still got they're still on the bottom of the league in cap room for cap room. It was 9, yeah. 9 for 8 years. So, yeah, like I said, he's going to be 20. Oh, he's going to be 37 by the end of that. That's going to be pushing it. Yeah. Yeah, he's going to be 37. But, I mean, let's face it. It's when you're looking at free agency, people, like, I listen to people say, like for Nurse, Darnell Nurse. What are we going to do with Darnell Nurse in Edmonton? And I go on the Edmonton, on Facebook and group chats and stuff like that. And they're like, okay, well, Darnell Nurse, I did a tweet today. I said, by the way, I did a tweet today where I said, if Jones is worth $9.5 million, and I don't think he is, as of what he's done so far. I think he can be, but as of what he's shown so far, I don't think he is. Then Nurse is worth 9.5 for sure. Because I think he's shown better offensively than Jones the last couple of years. Although they're both not great defensively. I would say that you could even say Nurse is better defensively. And Makar must be worth $13 million. But anyways, somebody came on and said, on my tweet and said, well, I'd rather, they should just sign Nurse for $4 or $5 million. Why give him not 8? And the answer to that question is because you're going to lose him if you don't give him 8. That's the thing, is the players have defensemen of that caliber have so much leverage. Why would they sign a 4 or 5? I mean, I wouldn't. If I'm Darnell Nurse, I just put up almost a point a game. I do it again this year. As big and strong and physical as he is, and I'm coming up to contract time, and you're offering me a 4 or 5 year contract, I'm not signing that. Why? Why would I sign that? If I want to stay in Edmonton, and they want him to stay in Edmonton, you got to sign him for the 8. And the answer was, well, it gives us more flexibility and all that stuff. Like, yeah, well, you don't have that option. Nurse has pretty much been the blue line, yeah. So, yeah, he's going to get a significant raise. What opens soon? Board opens soon. Are you talking about my Discord? Well, apparently Dork and I are going to work on that, but we'll see how that happens. So, I think Nurse is going to get something like, hey, how you doing? We're talking hockey here. I think he's talking about the Discord. Dork. I think he's talking about the Discord is open. I just don't know how to use it. I'm doing a stream at the same time here, KK, your mom. So we're talking to you and doing a stream. If you want to talk anything, if you got any questions about hockey or want to make a statement about hockey or whatever, tell me. We'll put it on the stream here and I'll talk to you guys about it at the same time. Lauren, I was wondering what was happening. It wasn't right in the universe. We hadn't had Lauren on here yet. Holy smokes, buddy. Thanks for coming in. Borders option soon. I do not know what that means, John. Sorry, buddy. Borders option soon. Anyways. Yeah, I think it was a board. I think that's what he's trying to say. Borders. Oh, borders open soon. I got it. He's talking about the borders. He is spelling it correctly. He's talking about the Canada borders opening soon. That's what he's talking about. Sorry about that, John. You kind of switched off of hockey there for a second, which is kind of hockey, I guess, related. Yeah, the NHL should be all back to normal by this next time. Yeah, that's what he meant. I didn't quite get it, but haven't tried hockey. Is it good? It's friggin' awesome, man. Hockey's the best thing in the land. It's how I make my living. So that's TikTok. Somebody's asking me how it is. My day is fantastic. I'm talking hockey for a living in front of people right now. So I couldn't get any better than I am right now, I don't think. Derp, derp, derp. I'm an idiot. It just switched to a different topic, but it's not really a different topic because it has something to do with the NHL and it. Anyways, what I was gonna do, and we can do that now, is who do you think are going to be the breakout players for next year? Some breakout players for next year. And I haven't did any homework on this. So I'm just as blind as you guys are on it. And actually, I have a hard time thinking of who the breakout players might be. I think maybe Atkinson in Philadelphia. Atkinson in Philadelphia, see if CL's still out there, might be a breakout player. New environment, new system, new everything. He could really pot him next year, even though he's a smaller guy. It's got one hell of a shot. Allmark, although yeah, Allmark will probably look really good next year for sure, because I mean he did look good in Buffalo, but most people couldn't possibly consider it a breakout year because Buffalo was so bad. But in actuality, last year was kind of a breakout year for Allmark Dork, because he did fantastic. It's just his team sucks so. Yeah. Jeff Skinner wouldn't have to do much to be a breakout year. Although it wouldn't really apply because he did it before, so you can't really call that a breakout, I suppose. Patrick Kane. Kirby Dach, though. Kirby Dach could just go off next year, I think. Yeah. For Buffalo, I'm going to try to do this off the top of my head. I think Buffalo's got a few. Middlestat. I think Middlestat's a breakout. Oh, do I support LBJ? Do I support people that are, of course. Of course. My daughter's gay. I think Buffalo's got a few. Middlestat, Tage Thompson. I mean, Darlene could have a huge year next year with now that I really like that coach. I really like Granato. I think Buffalo could do better than people think. I mean, I doubt they'll make the playoffs, that's for sure, but I think they could do some special things like that. I just really like the way Granato changed that whole energy of that team. So, Middlestat, Tage Thompson, Cousins, those guys could all have breakout years next year. And Detroit, of course, Zadina, Rasmussen, I think that's his name. And New Jersey's got a ton too, although you could actually say they had breakout years last year. But that whole team could have a breakout year. And then the Rangers, of course, Lafreniere, he was doing really well. I think he's going to have a big year. I think he's going to do really, really well this year. In the second half last year, he was just getting better and better and better. He'll come in stronger. Kakko. This is getting close to the time for Kakko to start showing that sort of stuff too. Is it Chernak? Yeah. You think Jack Quinn will play next year, Weichel? I don't know. I think he might need one more year yet. But that'll be interesting too. You think so? Really? Oh, I think he's going to need one more year. I'm gonna look up a couple other here. I'm doing off the top of my head. Anaheim, of course, you got Zegras and Drysdale, but I don't know. It'd be pretty impressive if they have great years. I think they're looking more like the 40-point pace. Drysdale, it's hard to say. Man, that Drysdale kid's got some sweet legs. He is a smooth player. Yeah, that's going to change things. Even Bettman is not a big fan of going to the Olympics this year, but the players all want to go. So he said they basically told the Players Association, if you can work it out somehow, then you go, I guess. He's not going to stop them. Yeah, that's going to, after having a big year like that, I think they should skip the All-Star game again. Who's in with me? Skip the All-Star game. I don't care about the All-Star game. I really couldn't care less about the All-Star game. I've tried. I know it's for the sponsors and all that, but you don't think the Olympics are as fun with pros playing pros, really? Yeah, you want to skip the All-Star game too? Yeah. I wouldn't mind at all if they skipped it, but the sponsors mind a lot. That's where they do their schmoozing. Oh, do you? You watch the All-Star game later on? I don't even watch it then. I just can't watch it. I can't watch it. It's just even the skills competition, like that weekend is usually I did so much hockey, which is great. I usually don't do anything hockey for that whole weekend. That's a weekend. That's like the weekend that I'll go out, do a little trip or something like that. Yeah. There's another good question. Who's going to win Rookie of the Year next year? Because that is going to be really difficult to figure out. I think we could get a surprise Rookie of the Year next year. Although I think Zegras could still be up for Rookie of the Year. Nah, I don't like All-Star games either. I'm with you, buddy. I'm with you on that. I think Zegras could get Rookie of the Year next year. Or Kenny. Yeah, I think he can. And maybe Drysdale. Those would be my two candidates off the top of my head. But like the guys drafted this year probably are not going to play next year. Denisenko in Florida. I know he'll get a really good chance this year. I hear that Lundell might push himself on the lineup in Florida as well. But like, there's not a lot of guys that really. Jarvis, yeah. That is like it's like wide open for next year. You do like the shootout? I'm not a shootout guy. I'm not a big shootout person. No. Yeah, I'd have to really look at like Rookie of the Year, some guys that might play next year. It's going to be guys that were drafted like a year or two ago, and they're knocking on the door to play right now. I wonder if Buffalo's going to have any rookies coming up this year. I wonder if Peterka will be ready. I know he did well in Europe. Yeah, probably not. He played in the ICHL. That's not really a great league. Because I would think Buffalo's going to play some rookies for sure, because their lineup isn't that strong. So that would be all their prospects are from this draft, though. There's like they don't. That's the thing, is they don't even really have all that much depth. Maybe the Rangers could have a guy. It won't be any of the 2021. Yeah, most of them didn't play enough. I'm pretty sure Power's not going to play. Actually, Power himself said that he wasn't going to play. So that pretty much counts out him playing. If he himself isn't going to play. Says he's not going to play. So yeah. Are you talking about Sabres? Yeah. Arizona, I don't know. Just about anybody could walk on that lineup. Maybe somebody there might be able to do it. Wow, it's a really weak year for Detroit Red Wings. Might have somebody play. Valino probably will get a bit of a chance this year. I doubt Lucas Raymond will get in there. Oh, Moritz Seider. What about? I think Moritz Seider is going to get a pretty good chance for Detroit. That would. Trade Okposo to Arizona so they can give up a draft pick with it, but I don't think they'll do that because Buffalo wants draft picks, and they're not, cap space isn't a problem for them, so I doubt that they're going to do something like that. Arizona, apparently they're looking to trade Dvorak, and I think that has to do with the fact that Dvorak has just decided that at his stage of his career, going through another rebuild would be just horrible. So, and I mean, that would be a guy that, if I'm a general manager, almost of every team, Dvorak, Toronto Maple Leafs, there's a good example. But the thing is, Toronto has no draft picks. That's really their biggest issue. They have no draft picks. And Arizona's going to want a draft pick. But they could trade Kerfoot, and if whatever picks they might have, to Arizona for that. I think there's going to be somebody out there that's going to want him more, though. Yeah, well, no, I don't think so. I think they're going to be fully capable of getting Shane Wright. Even in that weak division, they're going to be just absolutely horrible. There's nobody to score. They traded Kemper. They don't even have, I think they're just going to get Dubnyk or something as their goaltender. There couldn't be any more of a tank than this team. This team is full on freaking Buffalo Sabres when they tried to get McDavid type tank. They are going to lose hardcore. But I think Dvorak will. Yeah, they'll give up a pick at the deadline for sure. Yeah, they're all in, but they're not. They're all in, but they're not good enough. That's the bad thing about Toronto. They've been all in, but they're not good enough. Having Mrazek messes everything. I'm having an argument with somebody on Facebook that Toronto doesn't. He's saying that Toronto has a good defense. Toronto did well defensively last year on defensive numbers, but mostly it's because their top four stayed healthy the whole year. If they lose anybody off that top four, they're in trouble. And now they lost a Selke candidate winger on wing. But anyways, where's Dvorak going to go? I love Dvorak, by the way. I think he's underpaid for what he does. Dvorak is like a Dano, but more offense. Maybe not quite as good defensively as Dano, but not far away, and has more offensive upside and bigger. I think he's only making like 4.5 million, if I remember correctly. Just Arizona's in the bottom for sure. No, they're not yet. Arizona's still in the middle of the for cap space. They're still only in the middle of the league in cap space. What's Dvorak making? Where the heck is Dvorak? Dvorak. 4.5 million until 2025. He's still signed up for a long time. Like, I'm all over this dude, man. If a team that needs a center, like if I'm the Calgary Flames, even if you're a rebuilding team, he's young enough that you can still use him. Detroit Red Wings will probably... I heard the Detroit Red Wings were in on him, and they got a bunch of picks. It makes sense. Stevie Y's a smart dude. They could trade, like... they just signed Pia Suter to that kind of like that role, but I'm sure they would still be in on it. They could, like, trade Fabry and... I don't know if they give up their first next year, though. They could trade Fabry a second next year, and they've got a ton of prospects and a couple prospects for Dvorak. But I'd be all over him. Yeah, that's true. Although the good news is they are getting an arena by the sounds of it, so that'll be good. I think they played a decent enough defensive system. They got, like, Matthews is underrated defensively. Even Nylander is underrated defensively. Kerfoot, they got some good forwards out there. But they had a 10-game stretch where Campbell saved their butt. And it looked like smoke and mirrors to me. Because as soon as there's injuries, the bottom of their lineup is not pretty. Yeah, a lot of players getting surgery. So, yeah, I guess we can talk about that, of course. We can't go a stream without talking about Jack Eichel. Jack Eichel... So this is the interesting thing, okay? Apparently somebody brought up here that it's part of the CBA that a player can't go get surgery that the team disagrees with. However, Byfuglien did. Byfuglien went and got his own surgery, paid for his own surgery. And Winnipeg didn't... I don't even think Winnipeg knew that he was getting the surgery. And then he ended up retiring, so I don't know what came about that. But I still don't understand why a player cannot go get his own surgery and then just wait to be traded. And just, he's not going to play for that team as soon as he gets the surgery. The question is, and I haven't heard anything about this, is it go against his contract? If he goes and does that, can they then say, we're not paying you? The surgery for Dustin Byfuglien was something like, I think it was a knee surgery or something. I can't remember. Hey, CL, how you doing? Alex Tuck out for 6 months hurts a lot, for sure. That's not going to be fun for Vegas to fill that gap. Especially, they were talking about trading Riley Smith. I guess that's out the window now. Riley Smith is going to stay there, for sure. We were talking something Philadelphia, CL, and I can't remember. I even said, hey, is CL out there? Philadelphia. But I can't remember what it was now. Welcome, everybody, on TikTok. If you got anything to talk about what we're talking about, just comment there and let me know what you want to say. I'm on a stream for the NHL Pearls of Wisdom show. You can go on YouTube and come on and check it out. Love to have you. Alex Tuck out is big. Big, man. That hurt. That really hurt. Vegas is, I think they're going to be fine, but yeah, I can't remember what it was. Something about Philadelphia, I can't remember what it was. Maybe it was Dvorak. I don't think it was Dvorak, but I mean, Dvorak's only making $4.5 million. They're thinking about trade. I think he has told them that he would rather move on than go through a rebuild, because that's the only reason why you would trade Dvorak right now. Like, why in the world would somebody trade Dvorak right at that price, especially a rebuilding team? But he must have said he wanted to go. It's big because they don't really, you can say what you want about Vegas. They don't really have a lot of depth to fill in those holes. They don't have much. They don't have a lot of depth outside of their NHL roster that they put on the ice. They're going to hope that Krebs is going to be good enough. But there's not really guys to step into that role. Any really significant injury, like if Vegas went through a rash of injuries this year, I could seriously see them missing the playoffs. Because because of the way they did what they did, by pretty much signing free agents and making the top of their lineup so strong coming into the league, they didn't really build a lot of, they haven't had a lot of draft picks and players that can come up and play. So any kind of significant thing like Tuck is big, strong, fast. I love that guy. They don't have anybody to replace that at all there. And now they're kind of gambling, I guess you'd say. They couldn't find the true number one center. So they went and got Patrick. You couldn't follow them as much. Yeah, they're not a very deep team. It's something that doesn't get talked about because they seem to be able to get by. Like, they really haven't had a rash of injuries in Vegas. But it's got to catch up to them eventually. I mean, next year for the center position, they went and got Brent Howden, who really was barely holding on to a lineup, to a roster spot in New York. They already had Chandler Stevenson. I think part of the reason why they went and got, that makes kind of sense why they went and got Evgeny Dadonov, because Dadonov had a horrible year last year from Ottawa. They must have already known that Tuch was going to be. So that fills in the gap for now. But, I mean, Chandler Stevenson's going to be the number one again, unless Nolan Patrick can come out and show that he can be anywhere near what they ever thought he was going to be. Dadonov fills the spot of Tuch, but he doesn't really, like for how he played last year, he really did not look good last year. He's one of those guys that seemed to have got the money and just kind of cashed it in. So, but if they have injuries to say, let's say like Mark Stone gets injured next year, their replacement for him is like Keegan Colasar. Peyton Krebs is going to be the big one. But he's only 20 years old. But he has been producing really well. Besides that, you got Sven Barchi, Cage Quinney. Brandon Bryson is not ready yet. Like, they got a lot of guys that just aren't even close to ready. Their depth is really bad. So, if they have injuries, I'd say they're in big trouble. You're hoping that, yeah, I hope so too. I hope Patrick can turn his career around there in Vegas. But the way he talked, I've heard interviews with him about going to Vegas, and he almost sounds bitter. Like, he sounds like a whiny kid still at this age. And I think a lot of this has to do with maturity. I don't know. He sounds like a spoiled brat kid. That's what Nolan Patrick sounds like to me. I don't know if he is. I mean, I don't. That's just what he sounds like. And when you think about all the problems he's had, you kind of wonder. Like, I don't know. Did you hear him doing interviews and stuff, CL? Did you get that kind of feeling too in Philadelphia? Yeah, I am very interested. I'm sure he's going to have an amazing impact on Chicago. I gotta pick Chicago to make the playoffs next year, for sure. Just the impact that he's going to bring, like you say, I just the impact on the energy on the team and everything. Like, you can't get a better leader than that. They have and losing Duncan Keith, they bring in Fleury. It's almost like changing the same sort of leadership for leadership. I don't know, he might get traded. I think Christian Fischer, I doubt he's asked to be traded. I think he just, like, this is probably the best opportunity Christian Fischer has had in his career to finally put his foot down and say, I'm an NHLer. I don't think Christian Fischer's going to, and he doesn't make much money, so they'll be fine with keeping him probably, I would say. He seemed like he had a good attitude. Okay. Well, I could be wrong. I mean, I'm making a very thin judgment on small interviews. So, like, I wouldn't put it out there and say Patrick is this because of that. But it just seemed like he was kind of bitter or something. I don't know. It could be. That Chicago lineup will probably surprise everybody. It did last year. They almost made the playoffs with Lankinen playing a full year. And now that Lankinen kid's going to see what it's like to be with a Hall of Fame goaltender with an amazing attitude who's won 3 cups. I mean, how could that not be good for your organization, really? Like, seriously, I think Pittsburgh could have traded somebody, freed up room somehow. Like, they're going for it right now. I'm sure he would have went back to Pittsburgh. I'm sure of it. Like, why the heck trade Jari in your first whenever you have a first again to Vegas to get Fleury and go for it? Because it's not going to matter anyways. You're going to sell off everything here in a little while and you'll get your picks back. I don't understand why Pittsburgh wouldn't do that. I just don't get it. Like, it tells me to me that Hextall is likely, really, this year is the last year. I really think Hextall is going to start selling pieces off this year. Probably going to be worse. I don't even know who their backup is now. They didn't go get another backup. So is it like Oscar Dansk went to Europe? Did they pick up? I didn't hear that they picked up another backup yet. Just wait a second. I'm gonna be right back, guys. Oh no, you gotta hear. My phone is dying. Yeah, I'm sure they'll find a backup somewhere, but I mean, they're definitely not stronger than they were. They're not strong. They're definitely a weaker team than last year, I would have to say. I would say Vegas is definitely a weaker team. Hello, everybody. I hope you like hockey. Saw the title. We're talking hockey here. I'm doing a show. I do it 5 days a week on YouTube. It's called the NHL Pearl of Wisdom Show. Tuesdays and Thursdays, it's in the evening. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, it's in the afternoon. So if you have anything you'd like to talk about hockey, you let me know, man. We'll talk about it. I heard Devils and Islanders are the ones fighting for Tarasenko right now. The Devils make sense. They need a shooter like that. It's just tough to make that trade with him not playing for as much as he did. Tarasenko's doctor says his shoulder is perfect and it's fine and all that kind of stuff like that. But man, he missed a lot of time. Well, they're going to lose some games, but Fleury played most of the games. Yeah, they're going to lose some games because of a weaker backup for sure. I would have to say. And I mean, it's up in the air. Lehner has had some issues in the past, and let's face it. But hopefully he's over those issues. He's got all the tools to be a fantastic goaltender, but they're in a really weak division, so making the playoffs shouldn't be a problem. But legend goalies are traded for. Yeah, I mean, the thing was though, Fleury is making $7 million a year. Chicago, I mean, there was nothing retained in that deal. Chicago took the whole contract. That was where they pretty much beat everybody out. So, just removing that contract was tough to do. So it took the value away from Fleury. That's what I was trying to say. The contract took the value away from Fleury. And I guess that's the reason why Pittsburgh just couldn't do it, because they would have had to free up $7 million worth of room, which would have meant Jari and somebody else. Who wants Jari right now? Like, nobody really, right? Yeah, well, the idea is that there's only one goaltender position. So the belief is that they're going to be able to find a goaltender. Carolina goes obviously on this belief. And I really think it's going to bite them in the ass this year. I really do. But I agree. Like, when you're talking about elite goaltenders, they're very few. And if I was the Washington Capitals this year, I would have been doing everything I could to get Fleury. They must be very high on Samsonov. I don't see why they are. Not even Pittsburgh wants Jarry. Yeah. Arizona's goalie, we don't know. As of right now, Arizona's goalie, and Buffalo's too. Buffalo is Anderson. Seriously? They're going to go into the season with Anderson as their goaltender? Unless they really love that Luukkonen kid. Maybe it's like the same as last year with Chicago with Lankinen. But Arizona right now, did they sign anybody? As of right now, it's Carter Hutton. Oh my gosh, that's a good way to make sure you get last place in the league. It doesn't matter how good the rest of your roster is. It doesn't matter how good the rest of your roster is. If you've got Carter Hutton as your goaltender, you're pretty much screwed. Screwed. It's just when healthy. I'm all over Lauren, but Ranta has just never been healthy, ever. Like, he's just never healthy, dude. 5 games he's hurt. 5 games hurt. Always. It's been like that for his whole career so far. Is that automatically going to change this? Is that going to change this year? If it does, they don't have a problem with goaltending for sure. Because the amazing thing about Ranta is he's injured, but once he comes back from injury, the guy's amazing right away. Like right away. He doesn't need a couple games or anything. He's right away. He's amazing. Which makes me wonder what his pain tolerance is or something. I don't know what it is, but I've never seen a goaltender more injured than Ranta. And Anderson, it's been 2 years since he's been decent. It's been a long time. I don't know. To me, it's just, why do you roll the dice with your goaltending position? I don't get it. You had Bernier right in your hands. The guy never is injured. Bernier's never injured. He was incredible in Detroit. All you got to do is give him $4 million for 2 years. That's what New Jersey gives him. And you blow that off? I just don't get it. I don't get it. We'll see. They must know something I don't, but I don't get it. Oh, Hutton is terrible. He's not an NHL goaltender at all. Like, if you want to be last place in the league, just have Hutton as your goaltender, you're good to go. Good to go. And so they'll probably just keep it that way. Like, I wouldn't doubt it. You might as well. For the first year anyways, just make sure you get that top 3 pick this year. But you're not going to be working on systems much with Hutton there because it's hard to work on systems with a bad goaltender like that. Buffalo has Aaron Dell and, yeah. Well, that's good. I'm glad they do. Maybe that is part of it, but nutrition, I know for me, nutrition and conditioning has helped save my life. So, and it certainly can help a lot of things. If teams don't put enough stock into it, then it definitely can cause something to look into for teams that are injured a lot. I wouldn't doubt. Just sugar alone. Like teams that play, sugar is horrible for the body. And there are teams that basically like really encourage guys to basically limit sugar if and to the point of wanting zero sugar in your diet. I do give, I mean, it's just he's had some significant injuries, and yeah, you do have to take into consideration that he had a pretty poor defense working in front of him at that time. I think if he's not injured and he's perfectly healthy, I don't think it has anything to do with the talent of Anderson at all. If he's perfectly healthy and able to play at his peak, Anderson is fine for Carolina. No doubt about it. I don't think it has. I think that's for sure. Well, I don't think he wanted to play for the Canes if they were offering him $2 million a year. But if that's the case, Bernier's a stupid one. I'm sorry, but why in the world would you not want to play for the Carolina Hurricanes with that defense in front of you like that? I'm sure he might have said, I mean, I'm hoping for his sake he said that after they only offered him $2 million a year, like they did Ranta. Then I would say, yeah, I'm not playing for $2 million a year after everything I did in Detroit. No freaking way. And, I would have left as well. In which case, Carolina dropped the ball. But we don't know everything. Maybe he has something against Carolina. I don't know. Too small of a talent market for him or something. Possibly. Not sure. I think his numbers will improve if he's healthy for sure. If he's 100% healthy, Carolina's defense is going to help him big time. No doubt about it. Absolutely. I think he's fine. I'm just thinking, why roll the dice on a guy who hasn't been healthy for 2 years? But, I mean, if Bernier just flat out said he wasn't playing for Carolina, again, why did Carolina wait a little bit and get more for Nedeljkovic than they did? He was a restricted free agent. They could have waited and got more for him. But then a third-round pick? A third-round pick, that's it? Kyle, it's getting more and more that the recommended daily amount of sugar is 0. Sugar is terrible for the body. Terrible. It's getting more and more knowledge. In the general consensus, they still treat it like it's okay, but it's not. Unless you're talking about sugars like fruit sugars and stuff like that, but I'm talking about just straight white bleached sugar. Carolina was offering $1.5 million for 3 years to Nedeljkovic. That's embarrassing. Nice. I had arthritis all through my body. Not like totally all through, but like in various parts of my body. And my beautiful wife, she can't hear me. She's over there trying to get brownie points. My wife started doing keto, and she told me about it. And keto helped me get off the sugar. It makes it so your body doesn't run on glucose anymore. It was like the best thing that ever happened to me. So yeah, and now I seldom consume any sugar. I even don't have ketchup or anything like that. I look at products. I use a thing called monk fruit. That's for a sweetener. That's not sugar and stuff like that. So I'm thinking the Canes dropped the ball, but it's possible that Bernier really just didn't want to play in Carolina. That I just think Bernier dropped the ball if that's the case, because you couldn't get a better situation. Over in New Jersey, have fun with that. Their defense is not very good. It might be better this year though, so it may work out well for him. But I think it had more to do with the offer than not wanting to. Taylor Pollock. What do I think of the DeAngelo signing? I mean, on the ice, it's a friggin' amazing signing, to tell you the honest truth. Yeah, he's not great defensively, but he's very much good enough offensively to make up for his defensive shortcomings. As far as what he did in the Rangers' room, I don't know what happened. I know that all I know is that players say that he's not racist at all. So whatever he said to that goaltender or whatever it was, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it wasn't the first thing that happened with DeAngelo that made him do that. I think it might have been a little bit difficult for DeAngelo being a Ranger in New York, in one of the most liberal places. And he's a huge right-wing supporter. That might have something to do with it. But far be it for me to make a judgment on what he did there, except for the fact that I heard it wasn't as bad as people made it out to be. I'm not sure. I don't know if he's willing to do. On the other side of this, you never heard of it with DeAngelo? Well, I mean, you never heard that he got booted off the team? Like he got booted off the team in New York. So, and apparently it was whatever he said to Georgiev after a game that was the tipping point. That doesn't mean it was the only point. I don't know. I do know that, okay, you go down the list here, there has been some sort of a problem. Stevie Yzerman, he drafted DeAngelo in Tampa Bay in the second round. For reasons nobody knows, he traded DeAngelo to Arizona, and I can't remember who it was for now. I'd have to look it up. But it wasn't a very good-looking trade. Just like that. He goes to Arizona, plays there for a while, and there's rumblings about some things going on with him. And then all of a sudden, he was gone for Stepan and I believe, wasn't it Ranta? Yeah, Stepan, Ranta, and guys like that. So there does appear to be some issues with him with attitude or something. There does seem to be that. And then he gets kicked off the Rangers. Like, basically, they just said he'll never play another game for New York. So, oh, really? Okay, I don't know what the situation was. He said he called him a wop or something. I hate to say that, but I mean, yeah. So, anyways, that crap all happened. Okay. whatever that was. Now, the cool thing here is we all know now that Carolina has a whole lot of Rangers on it. The guys that, I don't know if they did, one that played with Faust played with DeAngelo. I have no idea. It's not a racist comment. It's just a term, a derogatory term people use. I don't think Italians, I think Italians are wonderful. But, canceled. Yeah, there you go. But Faust is on that team. He played with DeAngelo. So I'm pretty sure they would have talked to Faust, whatever, about things about DeAngelo before they made this deal, right? You got Stepan going back there. Brady Shea also played with DeAngelo. Fill me in, Lauren. What are the other Rangers that? So obviously they must have discussed this with them before they made this decision. So if you go to these guys and they're like, we never had a problem with DeAngelo. I don't know what the problem was. He has a radio show and he does a political, but he doesn't bring it up in the room or anything like that. And not only that, Carolina's kind of on the right wing anyways. So for $1 million, you get a point-a-game defenseman? I mean, I love Hamilton, but honestly, I'll take DeAngelo for $1 million before I take Hamilton at $9 million. I can fill in my roster in a lot of ways. I still think Carolina did really well here. Fache and Ranta. And Ranta obviously didn't have a problem going there. Well, they wouldn't come out as a political stance. No, I don't want to say that because that's not true. He literally said something to somebody. Now, he is heavy into social media, and there's a lot of teams that don't like that. All right? And he's heavily political. It doesn't necessarily mean his political stance is the problem. The problem is he's making political stances, whatever they are, in social media, which is a reflection of the team and the fans that come to the games. And a lot of teams like to stay vanilla in that area and really are asking you to wait till after your career or something or whatever. And he won't. He's just going to keep on doing it. And I think that rubbed the Rangers the wrong way. I don't know if his political stance had anything to do with it, but it's very possible. There has been teams in the past, I think it was like New Jersey Devils or something, that tried to say no social media at all. They tried to say that, like they didn't want any social media at all. Yeah, I mean, yes, that's true, Lauren. Whatever. Yeah, whatever he said to him might not even have been the words he said to him. It's just the fact that you said he was Italian. What's the player you're talking about? What Italian player? I thought it was a goaltender. I thought it was Georgiev. I thought he was saying crap about Georgiev, and you just can't. I mean, DeAngelo's with his defense is probably the last guy who should be talking about a goaltender. Sorry, you don't need to say sorry. It was a great topic. I love talking topics like that. You know me, I don't have any boundaries. I don't have any boundaries to what we're talking about or not talking about at all. As long as it's hockey related, no boundaries. Yeah, there was something about that, but that was whole pass. So, but whatever happened with this? What Italian player? Who's Italian? Who's Italian? Yeah, like anybody that's on the stream, I don't have boundaries to what we're going to talk about if it's hockey related. I'm going to have opinions. You may not like those opinions. You can come in here and have opinions, and I may not like your opinions. I don't care. In fact, I enjoy it. You want to have a heated discussion about hockey. I don't take hockey serious enough that I'm not going to like you because you have a different hockey opinion. Never, 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 never. It's fun to me. I like having a conversation. We'll see who's right. You can rub it in my face if I'm wrong, and I'll rub it in your face if you're wrong. It's good. I love it. That's what hockey's all about. That's why they rub each other in the face with their gloves. The Sarnia Sting, yeah. But anyways, that's what I think about the DeAngelo signing. I think on ice, it was a fantastic signing. On ice, it was a fantastic signing. So I thought you couldn't get one of the best signings of the year. I should do a video about that. DeAngelo was one of the best signings of the year. I bet you the hate I would get on that would be unreal. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Yeah. Now, there's going to be a lot of people, I don't know. I think a lot of people just listen to stuff and they don't know what's going on. Like, I heard it was a racist comment, and like I did a thing on I think it was one of my videos that I said, you know, I hope DeAngelo turns himself around and thinks differently and stuff like that, assuming that it was all because this stuff keeps on reoccurring in his life. But now as I hear it, it probably wasn't. I don't know. It may not have anything to do with DeAngelo at all. That is going to be interesting. We're talking a lot of Canes today, Lauren. Ethan Bear. You want to see some arguments. The Ethan Bear for Fogle arguments in Edmonton is like raging. There's people that love Bear. The people say he's barely a 5'6". I say Bear's going to go to Carolina and he's going to play top 4 minutes. Fogle, he's good defensively, analytically speaking, but the guy can't score with a darn. He gets his expected goals stats are fantastic. But Wilson versus Reeves is freaking amazing. Yeah. His expected goal stats are amazing, but he doesn't do anything. Like he doesn't have enough creativity. He's a guy that's just going to drive to the net. We'll see what happens, but I mean, the Oilers get guys like this all the time. They get sucked into these guys all the time. I can't wait for that. Like everybody, you tell people trying to take fighting out of the game. Yet everybody, there will be the most watched hockey game this year will be the first Washington Rangers game. Probably the most watched by far that's not a playoff game. And everybody's going to watch that game, man. Are you freaking kidding me? Oh, you want fighting out of the game? What a joke. What are you talking about? Why? Why do you want fighting out of the game? Why? Give me a reason. Oh, because they may get injured? They're playing hockey. They're playing a game where you shoot a puck at 100 kilometers an hour and people dive in front of it. That doesn't bother you a bit. But two guys go at it in a fight And you want to remove that from the game? Like, what are you talking about? Do I play NHL? The video? No, I don't. I don't. I like the Caps, so I'm not. No, Go Caps doesn't have to be offended at all. I think Wilson's awesome. I love Wilson. I love Reeves. I love them both. Yeah, like guys, people, players shoot 100 kilometers an hour, and other players dive in front of that. They block shots, and nobody says we should take out shooting from the point or blocking away because they're going to hurt themselves. You know, it's because of the bullying aspect of it. That's what it is. The intimidation factor of the game. They want to take the intimidation factor out of the game because they want their kids to be able to play. But it's like saying to me, that's like saying we need to stop letting basketball players be so tall so more people can play the game of basketball. I mean, it's the way it is, man. Stepan's going to be amazing in the room, dude. Awesome pickup, by the way. Stepan is like a guru in the freaking room. Great for a guy like D'Angelo. Awesome move bringing Stepan in. He's like having another coach. He will almost certainly, Stepan will be a coach after his career. Everything I've heard about Stepan is he's like the spiritual leader of a team. He solves issues. He gets everybody together. He knows how to build a family in a room, like at incredible levels. Stepan was a fantastic pickup by Carolina. Absolutely no doubt about it. Oh, we will trash your team, Go Caps. We will trash. I'll probably trash every team in the league somewhere along the line. I trash my own teams. What are you talking about? I probably trash my own teams more than any other teams. Height diversity. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'll trash everybody's teams, and I'll lift up everybody's teams. If I think it's good, it's good. If it's not, it's not. Later on, I'll find out I was wrong, and I'll say, you know what, I was wrong. So what? Who cares? Well, okay. Well, we've been talking about that, but that seems to be the big topic right now. So at this point, I can't see him ending up anywhere else but the KHL. I I don't think he plays in the NHL. The problem is, how do they get rid of this contract? San Jose apparently has several players or players on the team that do not want him back. Like, is this guy like hitting on their wives and stuff, or what the heck is this guy all about? In a team, teams can handle a lot of stuff with their teammates. Their whole point is to try to, not be bothered by Phil Kessel. Nobody ever came out and publicly said they wanted Phil Kessel off the team, and that guy is a jerk. I mean, what the heck is this guy doing? That every team he goes to wants him off the team. Like, unbelievable. Do a video on Jack. What's to do a video on Jack Campbell about? I love Jack Campbell. He became the best he could be. He overcame a lot of mental difficulties to become an NHL player. But do I think he's a number one goaltender? Probably not. Yeah, I mean, that's really stretching it. I know Carolina seems to be able to want to take on some of these guys that are problems, and they probably have like one of the best coaches in the world to do it. And it seems like they're building a really strong, you know, team there. But I don't know. I think this guy is going off limits. I just, it's too risky for me, especially for his dollar value. I mean, they're going to have to retain for sure, and they can't really afford to do it. Kane in a first, like, I don't know if anything's worth it. Oh, everything's falling down here. Jesus. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Now what did I do? Okay, nothing. I don't think Kane is worth it. I don't think there's like I don't think there's an angle you can go on to take Kane on your team, like regardless of what you're getting, what they're giving up for. I don't know, unless you're gonna buy him out like right away. Maybe get the first and buy him out. Like Arizona could do that. Arizona could take San Jose's first next year and Kane for nothing, and then buy him out right away. But they're not going to do that because they can't. They're broke. So that would be about the only thing. And he has so much term left on his contract that. Do I like Sheldon Keefe? I do not like Sheldon Keefe. I think I need to see him a little more before I make a decision. I don't think he'll quit hockey. I think he'll go to the KHL. Hopefully, fix his gambling problem. And he could make a lot of money in the KHL and still be okay in his life. I mean, it's not over for him, but. What's that? Lina is all or nothing? Carolina, is that what you're trying to say? Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'm sure he'll try to play as long as he can. Yeah, for sure. I can't see him quitting hockey. I don't think Kane's got a backup plan after hockey or anything like that. That's the thing, and that's the other thing we can talk about there. It's so rare. I mean, I think something maybe even I like a lot of times I don't appreciate it really, and I'm just starting to really appreciate more. Like people will say, well, why would you give a guy like Hyman this kind of money or whatever the case may be, or whoever it is that you may acquire on your team? But the fact of the matter is, there's a small group of people that can do what these guys do, like regardless. Uh, Zach Hyman, and not only that, there's only certain ones that want to come to your organization. It's not like everybody's willing to go everywhere. So these are all just diamonds that you're plucking, like rare diamonds. Guys like Hyman, even Kane. Kane has got so much talent. As much as he's been such a problem, there are probably general managers in the league wondering, oh my gosh, a 30-goal scorer. If I add that to my roster, they're almost tempted because he's got such incredible talent. And 30-goal scorers that could play in the NHL and score 30. Players that could score 30 goals in the NHL are so very rare. They're so rare. So, I I don't think somebody's going to take a chance on him in this, but it's hard not to, because it's hard to find guys that does what he does. Is physically speaking, as a player in the NHL, it's very hard to find guys that can do what they do. Yeah, it's his ex-wife. Yeah, I keep on forgetting to say that. It's his ex-wife. And he said that his ex-wife has mental issues. Well, he better be right about that. Like, that better be something that is true. He better not be just offhandedly saying that. Like, this is the kind of thing. If he's saying that she has mental issues, and as a person who is bipolar myself you better be right. Like, you got to watch what you say, man. You better be accurate, bipolar or something, or some sort of issues that is documented and true, and she's going to a psychiatrist for, or something like that. Not only that, even if she did, here's a good example why people don't like him. If your ex-wife or whatever had mental issues, you gonna say that in public, you moron? Like, what are you doing? It's her privacy. Yeah, so, I mean, that doesn't sound right to me either. He could be lying, but, I mean, I don't know if he said that, but like, just that comment alone, even if it's true, might tell you a little bit about the character of what he's saying. Because he could have just kept his trap shut and people could have figured it out later. He didn't need to say it in public in front of everybody. That is somebody's private issue within themselves, regardless if it was an ex-wife or not. Right? So just these are just building up. And if it's not true, if there's no medical evidence that she actually has a condition, a mental condition, then he's like just off the rails, man. What do you like? Yeah, he's just digging it deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. So we'll see if that comes out to be actually true at all. Unbelievable what that guy is doing right now. Well, yeah, I don't know, but if you'd be able to do something like that. No, I don't think he's going to trade for him. I believe that people that have gambling issues and all of that stuff like that, they themselves could use some help. Go get some counseling, and because I don't believe that people are just that. There's things going on that in their head or mind or whatever that makes them do things that are not like that. But that's besides the point. I couldn't possibly, and as much as you want a 30-goal scorer on your team, like, they're so hard to find. I don't think there's a package they could offer me to take them. I think if I were to pick him up I don't know about a lie detector test, but he'd have to agree to go to counseling, psychiatrist, all of those sort of things to, first of all, free yourself of what seems like a gambling addiction, and then whatever that is a person being an addiction, whatever it is, like, go get some help, because obviously you need some help. You don't treat people like the way he seems to treat people if you're in your healthy self. So. Yeah, I don't even, yeah. And that's, it's going to be pretty difficult because the lie detector can't be used in most situations, apparently, in the court of law. So it's going to be pretty difficult for them to tell if he actually bet on his own games or not. But NFL teams have done that, really? You're quitting hockey. Well, they won't. They wouldn't have enough cap space even if Kane didn't do stuff like this. So you don't need to worry about it. But I can't see. I think he ends up going to the KHL. I really do. I really do. Now, I could be totally wrong. Somebody can look into this and start to think, their wheels get turning. I don't know. But, I mean, this is 3 organizations now. 3. Oh, yeah, that would not be good. Kane playing in Vegas, yeah. Probably not the best spot for him. Yeah, they have to agree to that. 24/7, yeah. I think that sort of happened in hockey too, but you don't really find out about it. You don't really find out about it because they keep it private. But I think things like that have happened. I know Theoren Fleury had that. He requested it. Well, not really a babysitter, but like they watch him constantly all the time. They go on the road and they'll have like almost like a security guard that won't let him out of his, like, he can't leave his room. And if, like, for alcoholism and stuff like that. I believe Theoren Fleury actually asked for it at one time. And it still didn't really work somehow. He got out somehow. That's weird because that would seem like going a little past human rights there to cut somebody's finances. But I mean, if it's in the contract, I guess there's nothing they can do about it, where you basically just signed off your rights. Anyways, guys, I went long for this. I got a show to do tomorrow. I'm gonna try to do a video. I'm gonna do a video. I got a video coming for tomorrow. Thanks for watching my other videos, by the way. I had lots of. It's funny, I get like lots of views, but nobody likes to subscribe to my channel. I don't know why. It's weird. Theo had a huge drinking problem. For sure. A big time drinking problem. Yeah, I'll talk to you later. I smell supper already. It's time for me to go. See you later, all you TikTok people. I'm out of here. See you tomorrow from 1:30 to 3:30 in the afternoon. Mountain time, 3:30 to 5:30 Eastern. Have a great day. Lots up to you. Okay, bye.